Okay, time to get back to the game.
We're needed down at the spaceport.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! That's it! We're trying to help you! You've got.
Please! I can't stop! Please!
What can I help you
Do
with?
something!
Glad to haul whatever you need. Goodbye.
What are you doing? Stop fighting. Goodbye.
Help us!
Ha! Scratch one over here. Lights out.
Thank you.
The way those people were acting.
I don't know. We tried to restrain them, but some of the other officers down there.
Pheromonic projection. Some terramorphs, they can induce. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our... Let's do it.
That's unlocked.
Ooh, this is gonna get fun.
No time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull... Some firepower. Let's move!
An evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up! Don't just stand there! Good!
That was the last of them.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, put in. can't risk them taking over any more, my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Okay.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. We're not afraid, but we'll stay here and hold the line if that's... Your call. We're on the line.
Captain! It's going to be okay! It's not real! Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real! We have to put down that floor! Help! Help! They're gonna kill me!
The probability of your defeat is extremely high.
Oh God! Here they come! They're everywhere! All around! Nowhere is safe! Bring it. Target down! Nice work, Captain!
It's over. Thank God. If these things reached the populated areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
Certainly doesn't feel like it. I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
Nothing's getting to the cabinet.
That's a relief to hear. Captain, Hadrian, it would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated. Thank you, ma'am.
Have some respect, will you? That's the president of the colonies you're addressing.
No, you two were in the right. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, after today's events, the Cabinet has decided to revisit its previous decision. We will be supporting your collection of the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this? Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored. Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. The people you'll be dealing with, they're rather atypical themselves. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
You've got the Cabinet's full backing to prevent more attacks. Understand?
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
There are so many different groups across the settled systems, it's hard to keep up with all the work they're doing.
These orders can't be... Yes. Yes, sir. Consider it done. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude.
I was also told the President wants us to get you into the Armistice archives ASAP. So, we've got no time to waste. You know what the archives are, correct? Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun? The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Report suggests there's a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for intel. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
Oh dear. Isn't that
Hello.
something?
Okay. Hello.
Captain. Official line is that you're to negotiate. My suggestion, she's also got a step. Ambassador Balmore, when the rest of he's though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Well said. There's no reason to assume they're any worse than us, despite their cultural beliefs.
Of course. But there is another wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been... Scans of the facility show life sign.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him.
The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish. It would at least be a speedier, but I, of course...
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you out. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks.
Now, if you have additional questions, or I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack... Be smart out there, Captain.
When you have a few moments, there's something I'd like to discuss. Remember our last conversation when you told me? Well, it got me thinking, so I dove into... Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described... Really? After reading those journals, all... Oh yes, absolutely. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took me under... Hey, so I pinched a few ideas. At any rate, we logged quite a few discoveries together. Exactly. For me, there was no... Oh, I find that sort of... I'll take that as a compliment. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds me that I respected her, and I consider... Had that been true, I would have resigned my post and moved to Perim. Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could pay... Well, I don't expect you to be a cop. You see, it's clear that... If you knew about the things that I've done, the way... Please, give me...
Howdy. By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Well, that sure was something. Something tells me that we're not even started yet. Well, I think this is where I'm actually going to end the stream for tonight. Wow. Wow. What a game so far. And something tells me we're not even close to done yet. Holy shit. This is fun. Really fucking cool, too. Like, I'm having an absolute blast. Like, this shit's really fun. Like, it all started with me just deciding to become a Vanguard and do some Vanguard shit. And now I'm in the main story, I think. Unless there's, like, multiple main stories, and then you're just, like, chasing down each one. This feels like the main story, but I thought the main story was chasing down those artifacts. Honestly, I can't really tell. Like, they've crafted this in a way that's so fucking perfect, I can't tell if this is a main story, or if this is just a side quest. A very large side quest at that. Like, I don't think I remember a time in a very long time I've actually felt lost in a good way. Like, not knowing if I'm actually doing the main quest line or if I'm actually on a side quest. That is so wild. But I am so excited to see where this takes us. Because, like, there's so many different missions and, like, things you can do. Something that can take you off the beaten path can turn out to be something entirely different. It's fascinating. And I can almost guarantee myself I'm not even like 3% through the whole game. Holy shit. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, hit like, subscribe, and follow for more. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Wow. Have a nice night, everyone.